Thought about trying to let it bite me to see what kind of damage it could do, but seems a little risky bisky, so. Oh, another one. I found the salamander hotspot, it seems. Guys, you won't believe it, but we're back at the airport again. Going to Tennessee for a couple days this weekend. Got a little bridal show thing Sarah's going to, and I'm probably gonna herp. I think it's time for a new suitcase. Welcome back to Wild Attractions, everybody. If you're new here, my name's Andrew, and basically we go out in nature looking for all different sorts of creatures. I usually target like snakes, but always happy to see all sorts of stuff, other reptiles, amphibians, invertebrates, doesn't matter. I find it all pretty interesting. Hope you do too. But today we are in the mountains of Tennessee, just outside of Nashville. I want to explore some new areas. I've only herped here once before, a few years back, so I'm excited to start hiking around, see what we can find. It's about 65 degrees out. It's a little colder than I'd prefer, but hey, we've seen snakes out and other animals in this kind of weather before. It's not unheard of by any means. So it's probably going to be under stuff. We're probably going to have to flip logs and rocks and things like that. But I'm just pumped to be out here. I'm going to start walking around and see what kind of creatures we can uncover. So our first creature on this beautiful, beautiful trail in the mountains is a really, really cool looking millipede here. I'm not sure the exact species, but quite large, honestly. Just found it right under this log here off the side of the trail. Beautiful yellow and black, gorgeous millipede. Did I say centipede earlier? Well, if I did, I meant millipede, but really cool animals. Looks like something you'd find out of like the South American rainforest or something. Really sweet. These guys, I believe, like a lot of other millipede species, do secrete a form of cyanide to basically warn off predators when they think they're being attacked and eaten. So pretty cool little defense display. I'm gonna let this guy go back under his log. I just wanted to show you guys for a minute here, give you a little look of him. Wish he'd come out for us, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Then we'll keep walking around. Maybe we'll see a snake or two, who knows. Wanted to take a quick second to show you guys this beautiful little structure. What we have right here is a tree that's fallen down, and basically when the roots come pulling out, it creates this really nice pocket in the ground where snakes and other reptiles, amphibians, and bugs and all kinds of creatures can basically hide out in, especially, you know, during winter when it gets super cold and they can't bear to be out in that kind of weather. They like to go underground where they can kind of stay dormant and sleep. So really important to have these in the ecosystem, and a great place excuse me, great place to look for snakes and other wildlife, as mentioned. So if you ever see these, make sure to check them out. You might see a snake around them. Got a really cool little insect larva here. Looks like a large beetle species, or decent size at least. Not sure of the species, but pretty good size. Look at the mandibles on that thing though. There we go. Crazy. They feel pretty sharp too. I felt them with my finger. But I'm gonna let him go again, just back under his log right here. And then we'll keep looking around. No snakes yet, but that's how it is sometimes. Maybe they'll start moving. If you thought that last beetle larva was big, boy, do I have news for you. I just found a bigger one, like easily 2 to 2.5 times the size. Look at this little chunk. Oh my God. I thought about trying to let it bite me to see what kind of damage it could do, but seems a little risky bisky. So get some quick video, let this guy go. We'll keep looking around. Massive thing. I have no idea how, but I just found a little, I believe it was a 2-line salamander. As I'm trying to get it out of the mud, I turned to wet my hands so that I could keep them clean while I handled the salamander. I turned back, the salamander's gone. I dug around a tiny bit for it, couldn't find him, but I found this interesting looking crayfish. I think this is a new species for me. Not a herp, but cool little arthropod. I'm literally speechless. I have no idea. It wasn't even fast, but I looked down and the thing disappeared, like literally teleported. No idea. But hey, at least I know there's salamanders here. Put this guy back. Keep looking. All right, guys, I just flipped this big old rock and I found 3 salamanders. Totally made up for that one I lost a few minutes ago. Oh, come here, little guy. No, wait, let me look at you. Don't worry, my hands are perfectly clean. Oh, no. All right, I'll find him in a minute. And then we had 2, I believe 2 lines. Oh, there he goes. Man, these guys are hard to get hands on. I think he's a little 2-line salamander right here. That's the bigger one, actually. And then we have a tiny one. And this other one, this large salamander, I think it might be a dusky. I think they might be southern duskies, but don't quote me on that. I have to double check. But let me find this guy that just disappeared. All right, I was surprisingly able to relocate this little guy. I say little, but he is like 3 times larger than these other 2, I think 2 lines. You can see the size difference right there. Good size little guy. Still smaller than the western slimies that we get around Austin, but again, I believe it's a dusky. Let me check. Really cool. These guys will be hunting little invertebrates, and I believe I know they breed in the spring. I'm not sure. I believe they may breed in the fall too. Not 100% positive, but even so, it's probably a little late in the year now. We're in early November, so they're probably done breeding, probably getting ready for hibernation, hanging out under these big rocks that hold a little bit of heat for them in the daytime, but not too much so they'll cook them. Got some nice moisture for them. They like these rocks with a little bit of moisture under it. Cool. 3 salamanders under 1 rock, 2 different species. Not too bad. And we're at 4 salamanders on the day, and all of them were found like within the last maybe 5 minutes. Super cool. These are all lifers for me. I've never seen any of these species here, so pretty great. Awesome to see some herps today, because before that we only had a couple bugs. Really neat. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna take them out from under the rock, flip it back over so that it doesn't crush them, put them right onto the side of the rock, and then we'll keep looking around a little bit longer and then head out, because it is starting to get dark here as winter approaches. Days are getting shorter, but we'll look around a little longer and see what happens. Jesus Christ. All right, so I know that big 2-line moved out from under the rock. I'm not worried about that. But let me try to grab this little guy as gently as possible, get him on a leaf. Let me just move you for a second. Here. Don't go anywhere. There we go. Stay right there. Don't move. All right. Giant rock. Okay. Here we go. All right.
big boy salamander. Love this little guy. Love this little guy. Time to go back under. There he goes. Little guy. Littler guy, actually. That way. That way. No. There we go.
Sweet.
Oh, another one. I found the salamander hotspot, it seems. Where did you go? There it is. Oh no. That might be a third species today. No way. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe that's another dusky. Kind of hard to tell at this size. He's got a little bit different pattern, so I'm not positive. But I know that there's a number of different salamander species here that we could see, so I'll have to double check. And I'll, of course, put the species up on the screen when I figure it out. Tiny little guy. Cute. I don't want to handle him too long. Just for a minute here. Then put him back. Grab a quick picture. But that's cool. Glad we got to see some salamanders today, at least, if the snakes aren't out.
This high elevation's got me wheezing. Like I've never hiked a day in my life. Whew. Country road, take me home to a place I belong. Tennessee, mountain whiskey, country road, take me home. All right, it's a new day here in Nashville, probably about 75 degrees, and I'm going to be walking around this lake to see what kind of animals are moving about. These late fall days can be a bit unpredictable with herps as they get ready for a long winter's nap, but I'm really just happy to be out here enjoying this beautiful weather nonetheless. Hey, let's get walking around and see what creatures we can find. Way up in this tree, we have our first sign of life here at this lake, and it's America in its purest form, a bald eagle, and my first one ever. I honestly had no plans of seeing one of these and didn't even know that they existed in Tennessee. But after talking to some friendly locals that were photographing these birds, apparently they actually come here annually to basically overwinter during the harsh weather. By April of the new year, they'll return to their homes as far north as Canada. Further down the trail, about 30 feet up in this tree, was a massive wasp nest. If you look closely, you can see them making their way in and out of the entrance. Some animals I won't be interacting closely with. There's like walnuts falling everywhere, and these little chippy monks are gathering them. Damn. Some more evidence of beaver damage. This large differential grasshopper might very well be the last animal of the trip and is one of the largest grasshoppers you can find here in the state of Tennessee. Insects don't live very long, and many of them begin to die off at this point in the year as temperatures continue to drop. was a big ass grasshopper.
It is the last day of our trip, so I thought I'd close out the video with this buck and doe deer, just casually hanging out right next to a parking lot full of people. I might have mentioned it earlier in the video, but in case it's unclear why we're in Tennessee in the first place, we actually came to check out a wedding venue for our wedding next year. But hey, still managed to find multiple lifer salamanders, my first bald eagle, and lots of invertebrates, turtles, and others. Thank you for watching this episode and joining me on this wild adventure. If you did enjoy the content and you want to support the channel, please consider leaving a like or comment on the video, as it really does help out the channel so much. And we could even start taking trips like this more often in search of all kinds of reptiles, amphibians, bugs, and more.